Second half here at the Gabba. Port by 16 points. Vital for the Lions if they're to have any show of at least getting an early goal, if not the first one in this second half. Let's have a quick look at some stats that really do, Tony, tell a story.
Yeah, Sandy, significantly, Notting, McRae and Power, the half-forward flankers for Brisbane, had 10 possessions between them.
Primus to the half-forward line. Corns appeared to have his jumper held, and he's got the free kick. He's at centre half-forward. In contrast
to Kingsley, Francis and Montgomery on the half-back line for Port Adelaide, 32 possessions. So getting a lot of rebound off their half-back line.
Corns in his 50th game. What a thrill it would be for Chad, who's played every game this year. He could kick this and go on with a win tonight. What a start to the second half this would be for the Power. Won't quite make the distance, but they've got the numbers there in that forward line as the Lions desperately find the boundary line off the pack.
And I'll tell you what, they're very lucky that they actually sent the ball forward, Port Adelaide, because they got caught short with a tall defender down back. When Lynch and Bradshaw appeared, they had Fabian Francis picking up Daniel Bradshaw, and Brett Montgomery's had to rush back to pick him up.
Dew wrapped up by Lappin. Cockatoo Collins slammed by Voss. And it'll be another ball up. We're about 30 metres directly out in front of the Port goal. Cockatoo Collins gets up. Here's the replay.
Interesting to see Simon Black starting up forward too, Matty.
Yeah, that's very rare for Brisbane to not have him in at the clearances. Cockatoo Collins gets it forward, 2-on-1. Gee, Scott, he's under the pump there. He had to get that through for the rush behind. So Port get the first score of the second half. And the crowd, they've taken the crowd out of the game.
They certainly have. Luke Power back on the ground, just the one hand pass in the first half. Spent time on the bench, needs to get amongst it.
The loser to play the winner of the Hawthorn-Sydney clash. But no week's rest. Darryl White sets himself and marks at half-back. Yes, the Power has flattened the Lions for the moment, and they've flattened the crowd. Lappin with a slips catch.
He'll chip it over to Notting if he wants.
Yep. He's 25 metres downfield, so Dew just goes from one mark to the other.
But this suits Port Adelaide because they've just all flooded back behind the plate.
Lepic has gone down.
Oh.
Notting goes wide in towards the centre. Lepic gets a bad bounce. He's down in the forward line now, so the change has been made. Socket off the ground back towards Darryl White. He gets an awful bounce. Stuart Dew gets a good one to Fabian Francis. Fabian can barrel away, but he can't get clear. Notting's on his hammer and he's got him. Notting on all fours. Pushes wide. Scott heads towards the boundary line. Only as far as tread rabbit. There's been a whistle. It will come back. It's a Lions free kick.
Well, I think that might be poetic justice. They've got two of the best bouncers you've ever seen in the middle of the ground, Port Adelaide. It evaded about 5 Brisbane Lions players who are in position to take possession.
Scott from fullback. The Lions having injury problems. Hart plays on. Goes over the top now, Lepic. He tucks it under his arm and he's away. He bounces the greasy ball. He passes it towards the forward line, a little like a defender, and it is over the line.
And again, when Port Adelaide have surged forward, they've hit their targets. They've had a bit more space to lead into. They haven't been forced as wide into the pockets. And they've hit their targets. He's got real problems with his groin by the looks of things, Tim Notting.
Near his groin anyway. He might have copped one.
Suck it in. Deep breath.
Primus, Keating. Can they take advantage inside 50? Flicked out. Here's Ackermanis. Here is Ackermanis.
Well, there was a brilliant hand pass inside from Nigel Lappin, but I've got to tell you, I think we just saw the first look-away hit-out by Ruckman from Clark Keating. I reckon he was looking at the boundary line and he's whacked it backhand over his head.
He didn't want to know the score.
It was amazing. But look at the steal. He's just stripped the ball. Nigel Lappin stripped it from the Port to player that had possession, shuffled the short hand pass out to Ackermanis, and he finished off beautifully.
One of the crowd favourites here at the Gabba, Ackermanis, bringing them back involved. They'll need someone like Ackermanis or Voss to spark them. Notting going in hard, slung off the ball high. Free kick. Playing on quickly, Hart. Players stream forward. Hart
kick
to Bradshaw, doesn't mark it, over the back. Black goes down low. Well done by Kingsley to get it in there. Or was that no, that was Wanganeen, I'm sorry.
Well, Bradshaw had the front spot, and Brisbane going forward have been pretty messy for most of the evening. Nice kick by Sean Hart there. Bradshaw must take those balls out in front of him.
Margin 11 points. Black on Wanganeen, 2 All-Australians. Ackermanis trying to get through a tunnel. Couldn't. Umpire lets it go. Tackling is good. Due. Bang. Just gets it long and just almost to... Oh, Cockatoo Collins almost. White. A little bit fancy. Scott off the ground. Stevens. Clean. Well done.
Oh!
Corns. No one to kick to. Went the torpedo to get distance.
And
it does well.
Oh.
But 2-on-1 should win, and they do. Now look at Brisbane. They go to the outer side.
They've got players everywhere. This is Scott. He's got Lappin running with him. Scott tucks it under his arm. Brad Scott up towards the half-forward line. He chips over the top towards Ackermanis, and he takes the mark. No one on it, but there's been a whistle. It's going to come back.
It's going to be
now.
Who's the kick going to?
Port, I'd say.
It's going to go back
to a Port, I think, boys.
Yeah,
Schofield was...
Did you see what happened?
No, I didn't, Sandy, no. Well, Brian Sheen did come from the other side of the ground, and he mentioned...
Against Michael Voss.
Voss and Carr.
You mentioned the crowd, they're right back in it now.
It just shows that even the best in the game get frustrated when things don't go their way, and a tag is paying them very close attention.
Well, Jason, he's done a great job all year.
Oh, brilliant,
One of the best in-your-face taggers in the competition, but can also push forward and kick a goal as well. He's done a good job on Voss.
Primus goes long. This could well be a virtual 2-goal turnaround if the Lions aren't careful. Chris Scott finds the line. So a little bit of respite, a throw in the Powers left forward pocket. Ackermanis was on his way streaming into goal. He was cut short, and now the Power have the opportunity to answer. Keating towards White. He held it for a long time, and he's lost it to Josh Franco, who gives it to Burgoyne. Threads the eye of the needle to Fabian. Fabian flicks it over with a left foot in towards full forward. Smashed away by Lepic, but to whom? Who is waiting down? Burgoyne goes in towards goal. It's high, it's long, and it's there.
Well, this guy is going to be one of the stars of the final series. It's his 3rd goal. He's just been spectacular, crumbing and finding space across the half-forward line. Chris Johnson playing on him. He's giving Burgoyne far too much room. Johnson does sit off, reads the play very well, but you just cannot do it on quality, quick half-forward flankers. You've just got to tie him down, hold him down, and just cut him out of the game, because he's just cutting Brisbane up.
Three goals to Burgoyne, and the answering goal just what the Power needed.
And it's Luke Power playing down back now, picking up Peter Burgoyne.
Yep.
That's interesting. They're trying to get him into the game out of a back pocket.
They've made Voss pay for that error by getting the next goal. When Brisbane looked as though they were streaming forward. Franco out of the centre, Port getting better and better. Stevens got 2 to beat. Notting does well, but just the line beating him. Stevens was quite prepared to let it go over, realising that that was a tough option for him.
Port Adelaide having the better of the duel in the coaching box, no question. They're making all the moves in the midfield. Brisbane having to react to their moves.
Well, let's see how Keating and Primus react to this boundary throw-in. There's Black involved, Franco down low. Umpires will let it go here. Spills out towards Ackermanis. Oh, well done. Kept his feet and then made a meal of it.
Just would not sit up. It was going end over end, expecting it to sit up as it normally does. And a bit going on behind play too. Brad Scott and Matty Primus. As Jason Ackermanis shakes his head.
Keating front spot over Primus. Primus, who gets it down to Franco, just pops it up in the air, and it's taken away by Carr towards the right half forward. Corns wants a free kick in opposition to White. He doesn't get it. Instead, we have a throw in.
Good news for Brisbane. McDonald looks like he might be preparing to come back on.
17 points is the margin. Keating again with Primus, Ackermanis and Franco waiting down in front. Schofield is there as well. Ackermanis wearing him like a glove. Black goes back to Ackermanis. Stevens has got him. He gets it across towards Hart. Gives it wider even to Black, and Black is away. One bounce and he strolls into the forward line. They come charging at him now, but is it too late? Tries to draw the player, then pops it over the top. This is dangerous. Voss couldn't take the mark. He goes again, but he's claimed. And is going to get a free kick for a high tackle.
I'll tell you what, he got out of jail, Michael Voss.
Sure did.
He went for the chest mark when he had to attack the ball with his hands. He just thought he had more time than he actually did have. Oh, and look at the challenge coming in. Just too high. is Scott Bassett.
Voss has one already. That was in the second quarter. A chance once again.
Blood rule. Blood rule.
Yep.
I think he's a little bit of blood just at the top of the nose, on the bridge of the nose. So he's trying to call over.
Brad Scott started running.
Notting's going to be the one, but
He's calling Brad Scott over.
Oh, they won't mind this, Brisbane.
he is arguably the most accurate kick in this team. Brad Scott with 11 goals, 3 to his name for the season. He had one shot earlier on tonight.
It didn't register a score, just to cross goals.
Yep. But he's got an opportunity here as Voss.
Not in a hurry to get off, Michael Voss.
No.
Well, we've wrapped up Brad Scott. He probably kicked this out in the full, but some of his kicking for goal from set shots this year has been quite amazing. And there's a general feeling amongst the team that, you know, that question they get asked in surveys, who would you want to take the kick after the grand final, gets a few votes. 17
points is the margin at the moment. Brad Scott is going to be kicking from 45. He's on a 45-degree angle. They've just got to try and put successive goals together. Port so far have shown tonight that they have the answers. Brad Scott. Well, it's going to be very close. And it just drifts away for one behind. More despair for Lee Matthews. Brad absolutely furious that he couldn't convert. It is 4-10. Plays 8-2.
Well, the margin was 16 points at half-time, and it's still 16 points.
And if they continue to waste opportunities, Brisbane, they'll find themselves in a hole they can't get out of.
Yep. Oh, Carr does well. Works Lappin over there. Then goes for distance. Brown, haven't seen him for a while. Strong mark, Brown.
Super hands.
Ball dropped on him.
Oh, that's 50. Oh, I tell you what. How lucky was he not to get 50 given against him then? Brett Montgomery.
On Chris Johnson?
Yeah.
It's all worked out well for Port because now they've got all their numbers back. Brown goes low and hard towards Bradshaw. And it's not where they want it.
I mean, look, Chris Johnson, after the great mark, Chris Johnson is not allowed to shepherd the man on the mark.
Yep.
But once he does that, oh, you just missed it.
No.
You missed the swinging arm there, which actually caught him high.
There's Michael Voss just getting some running repairs to that cut. And we're at a boundary throw right in the forward 50. McDonald now on. Here's Notting. He'll get around here. He could go to Brad Scott. Whoops. Now he does. Put him under a little bit of pressure. A lot, actually.
Just got to kick the ball.
Ashcroft. He can't get clear. Black. He can't. Great work, Port. Now Notting. Left foot. Tough kick. Goes long. Goes across the face. Goes too far out on the full because it's a boundary. Hit the behind post.
Just mucked around with it too long, Brisbane. Someone had to centre the ball to the top of the square.
Well, their man-on-man pressure tonight, Port, has been sensational.
Still 16 points, the margin, in favour of Port. Franco tucked in the back pocket. Come across to Schofield, but elects to go downfield. Oh, a little too much on it for Treadray. Leppich right there with him. Treadray first to recover. Kicks it up towards the centre wing area. Port have the numbers. They're almost squabbling for it. The bottom of the pack was Corns. Gives it away nicely now towards Bishop. He gets a further kick downfield and they look up towards left half forward. In towards the pocket it goes. Brogan gives chase, but he's behind Michael. Can't lay a good tackle on him. They may get out of it once again, but the hand pass wasn't clear. Brogan comes in over the top. Cockatoo Collins tries to get it out of Hart's hands. He can't, and there will be a bounce.
Poor hands from Sean Hart. Had to go back and fix up his own error. Just missed a simple target in Luke Power when he was trying to hand pass back. Give the Lions a bit of time to set up a charge out of defence.
Franco couldn't get clear. Hart will have another crack at it. Comes back towards the half-back line, the diving Darryl White.
They just simply cannot handle the ball as well as Port Adelaide tonight, can they?
No, you made the comment, Jason, that they're over-handling. I mean, the golden rule, when you're under pressure, just get on the boot and push it quick.
Get long and direct, yeah.
Particularly in pressure games like a final.
McDonald to contest with Primus. Primus too much strength. Schofield, but there's been a whistle and, well, the big man interfered. Touch and go, that one. McDonald to take it.
Moss ready to come back on, boys.
Big Bo up towards Brown. Bishop there with him. Hart does the roving work. He's got Ackermanis firing.
He can go all the way.
And here he goes. goes in front of the Social Club with 2 bounces. He's inside 50. He steadies, shoots, and he goes. Acker is back.
Jason Ackermanis, he is the one player here, even more so than Michael Voss, that can really set this crowd alight. And it was just a magnificent hand pass, I think, with Sean Hart, who delivered the ball over the top. He just drew the opponent in, there it is, and created space. I thought Justin Leppich made an error in actually leading towards Jason Ackermanis, which brought his opponent across and meant he couldn't have that extra bounce, but he didn't need it. He straightened beautifully, and that's what the crowd wanted to see, Ackermanis getting in the thick of the action.
Outstanding finishing by Jason Ackermanis, his second goal of this quarter. But will Port answer once again? They've got it out of the centre cleanly, easily. Here they go. Franco, 60 out. Kick is low. Doesn't quite make it a desperate spoil. Who's down Crumming? Powers had a dirty night. Cockatoo Collins, Jew, Cunt. Well, it's not Jew, it's Stevens. And it falls out to Ashcroft. A bit of luck. And away they go through Brad Scott. Up and under. Hard one to mark. Bassett right on top of Bradshaw. McRae sockers it forward. Can Lappin manage to keep it in? Well, I don't think he will. I think he played the percentage there. And it'll be a boundary throw in as Ashcroft takes a spell. 10 points the margin. Just over 10.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
Jason, I just get the feeling the game's gone up another notch. Brisbane's starting to really run now.
Well, they're making their charge. They're making their move. It's up to Port Adelaide to answer the press from Brisbane now.
Voss is back, as you can see.
It's not a good look, is it?
No.
When you've had the nose done like that.
10 points the margin. It's the closest they've been for a long time. Ackermanis again in towards Leppich. Couldn't take the mark, and it's now 9 points.
Well, Jason called it before. Ackermanis is starting to find some space now, starting to push forward. He's the one real excitement player for Brisbane in the midfield that can set them alight.
And the other thing they have done, Mac, and Matty was talking about it during the break, Justin Leppich has gone forward. Mel Michael is now picking up Warren Treadrate, and it's Leppich and Mead.
They've also decided to go man-on-man on Primus as well. They're not giving him any space now.
Special comments tonight from Tony McGuinness and Jason Dunstall. The margin, 9 points in favour of the Power. They dearly love a steadying goal. Kingsley's in the back pocket. Try and set up their attack from that area. Francis will come back somewhat dangerously. Wanganeen, he's got to get it across past Brown, and he did well just to chip it over towards Bishop. The lightly used Bishop in this game so far tonight goes up towards a right half forward. Notting, spoiling Montgomery, but not before he got a boot to ball. Corns, if it sits, he could be in business. He soccers again. Down towards Franco. Beautifully done to Shea. Shea Cockatoo Collins misses to the right.
And you put that down to a great chase from Chris Scott. Everything he had, the despairing dive, and a couple of players just running over and giving him a pat on the back. But the hands from Josh Franco, he fielded the loose ball very cleanly. Short hand pass to Cockatoo Collins. Created a great opportunity for the Power.
3 clever soccers off the ground there by Port in that passage of play.
Here's Black.
That's smart football, isn't it, Matthew?
Yep.
Under pressure with a player right behind your tail, just kick the ball on the ground, push it forward under pressure.
Steering it to Hart as he looks towards the centre of the ground.
White. No.
He's going to go for Jonathan Brown. He had Corns, Montgomery and Bishop circling him.
Leppich on the long lead.
But he was able to take it now. Leppich, yes. McDonald says, you take it. And Leppich does. He's 55 metres out from goal.
You'd think he's out of range. He'd be looking to set it up. It was a long lead.
Playing in his 11th final.
You just see him caught in between two minds. Do I go for the big one or do I try and set it up? Be a team lifter if he could somehow fashion a goal out of this.
He's kicked 5 for the season. It's low. He calls it a pass. McRae off the ground. Goal! Lynch! Here come the Lions. Well, that was like a plane taking off that kick.
I tell you what.
It was a one-iron.
It was a one-iron, exactly right.
No one can use a one-iron.
It barely cleared the man on the mark, but it's carried about 50 metres.
See what's significant about that, though, is that McDonald had pushed back on the Primus, so Primus can't play on the back play on his own anymore, taking marks. McDonald made the contest in the ruck, which made the spillage. So there's a man-on-man contest across the full forward line, which is a good move by Lee Matthews. Primus did some real damage.
First goal for Lynch. He drifted right from the half-forward flank all the way down to the goal square there and was the crummer. Oh, good knock from McDonald. Got it quickly to Lappin and turned to Hart. Brisbane surging, Lepic. Oh, could this be the move, Jason?
Oh, that could be 50 for kicking the ball away after a mark was paid.
He's not going to be.
I'll tell you right now, I think Lee Matthews has made a very clever decision here, not just to move Lepic forward, but you remember that Wakeland went off injured earlier on?
Yeah.
One of the three basic key defenders they had. Now, with him gone, he thought if I send another tall down forward, we can stretch them. So they've had to bring Mead up onto Lepic. They've had to bring Bishop off the bench to pick up Jonathan Brown. And it's just creating mismatches all over the ground.
And throw Paxman in out as well.
Exactly.
And their back line, that structure has been completely lost.
The injury to Wakeland was the opportunity that the Brisbane Match Committee saw to get Lepic forward.
Well, we talked about at half-time a possibility, an option for Matthews. They trailed by 22 points at one stage in the second quarter. This from 51 metres to put the Brisbane Lions in front at the Gabba.
Well, look at the players coming from near and far to Justin Lepic. And you mentioned it there, Matty. Could this be the pivotal move in the game? Tony McGuinness made mention of it a few moments ago. They've made their charge, Brisbane. They've lifted the pace. They've thrown everything at Port Adelaide. Can they answer now?
The other thing that Mark Williams has done as well now, he's actually pushed Treadray back. He's gone into the back play, so he's going to play effectively loose man of defence. Mal Michael pushing back with him.
Four goals to one in this third quarter, and it is the Lions who've recovered. Notting gives the hand pass away. Scott, well smothered. A couple lost it. Hart didn't. He picks it up now and goes high up to the half-forward line. They come charging at it. Look at that. Great stretch by Mal Michael. Playing in his first final. It's been a long wait. Michael from 65, flat-looking mongrel punt towards McRae. He almost took the mark. Lepic again, can he give it away? It's over the line and a behind.
It really backfired on Port Adelaide there. Warren Treadray has done a Wayne Carey. He's just drifted down to centre-half back to fill in the hole. But Mal Michael was smart enough to come down and put himself in an attacking position. And when that long kick went forward, he was the one that got on the end of it.
Fabian Francis having a spell.
With Matty Primus as well, boys. He's just come off as well.
Wanganeen.
This is the crowd starting to come into it. Regular cheers.
Gee, they've had to wait.
Well, they have, but they realise this is the time.
A wry look from Gavin Wanganeen out here to the right. He was looking at Bishop. Elects to go to the other side. That's okay. He finds Bassett.
Momentum of the game has completely swung Brisbane's way, so Port Adelaide have just really got to control the football now, work the ball down the line.
Bassett kicks towards centre wing, and here it is, Voss. Guiding and directing traffic. Lepic! Perhaps a little early, couldn't take the mark. It is locked up there. Hart waits for the crumbs. Lappin also. Hart almost has his head and helmet ripped off. There will be a bounce, 40 out from the Brisbane Lions scoring zone.
The one important thing Justin Lepic did in the last contest, he was outnumbered 3-1. And even though he ran under it, he did bring the ball to ground and allowed the small players to get there and make a contest.
And has kept it in the vicinity. 3 points is the margin. Lappin, quick hands, Hart from 46. It's high, it's going towards goals. A great diving attempt again by Lepic, is just unsuccessful. Has he added some spice to that forward line?
I tell you what, you've got to feel for Darren Mead. He chased Jonathan Brown to Birkenback in the first half. And now one of the favourite sons, Justin Lepic, has come forward and he's got to pick him up.
And he's jumping all over the place.
Yes.
He's had 10 weeks off. How fresh does he feel?
Yeah, his legs will be fresh and he wants to take a mark. But one thing Port have done very well, Tony, is they've worked it out from their kick-ins very well. James, he finds the boundary further up. Did that go out? It's finally did.
Done a great job to get it up to the wing.
Yeah, Matthew, it has been a real strength for them all year, their kickouts.
Yep.
Controlled the movement of the ball well in the back half of the ground.
4 points the margin. The Lions in front. Crowd vocal. The younger ruckman at it now. McDonald and Brogan. McDonald punching it forward. Voss gets there before Burgoyne. Tackled by Hart. Did he throw that out? No. And it'll be another boundary throw-in. Simon Black and Gavin Wanganeen. Unusual move by Matthews to leave Black out of that middle for most of this third quarter. Black the leading possession winner on the ground at the moment with 24. Boundary throw-in. We're right on it here on centre wing. Down low. James first to it. Forcing it forward. Chance for Stevens. Clever handle, just missed Guerra. Scott, that's Brad Scott. Oh, good work by Franco.
Oops.
Corns, not too tidy there. Second attempt. Franco, it's hard to get hold of here. There's going to be a ball up shortly. Right of a Cowboy, says Brad Scott. And another repeat. So a real important time in this game, the last 5 minutes of this third quarter. What will Port do? Will they react, or can Brisbane keep going?
Just the one goal for Port in this quarter. That was kicked by Peter Burgoyne, taking his tally to 3. Brogan, Voss wide to the line.
Well, that's where Port Adelaide would want the ball to be as well. Just work the ball along the line, wind down the clock for this third quarter. They've been under intense pressure for the last 10 minutes. This is where they want the ball to be.
Sean Hart's had 10 possessions for Brisbane in the third quarter.
Brogan again with McDonald. Guerra, high but not very far. Voss thumps it down. Hart wants to get onto that left foot. Gains a valuable 40 metres or so. And we've got to throw in on centre wing.
Well, he was one that they started in the middle with in the second quarter. Took him a while to get into the game, Sean Hart, but certainly making the third quarter his own. One of the reasons Brisbane have really made a resurgence in this third quarter.
Bishop at the back with Jonathan Brown. Oh, again, Big Bo went for the roundhouse right. Hart gets it out quickly. A high kick towards McRae. Tough one to mark. Waiting down Brown. He steadies. He straightens up. He's 51 out. Notting going with a fly to the ball. He needed a kind spin to the left. He didn't get it.
See, they're pressing. Again, just a few opportunities where they could have slammed 3 or 4 quick goals on. They've just missed a couple, haven't they?
And the slip too, Jason, by Matthew Bishop, going to lay that tackle. Just slipped at the vital moment. Nearly allowed the Brisbane player to push forward on goal.
4 goals, 5 this quarter for the Lions. Power, 1 goal, 2.
Well, here we have, again, Port just chipping it in their back line. Kingsley going to James. They've loosened it up beautifully. And now plenty of space. And they'll go up the wing. Very impressive the way they do this. Josh Carr. Wonderful job on Voss. Just the 8 possessions to the Brisbane captain. Carr goes in search of Cockatoo Collins. And that is a precision kick. Cockatoo Collins just sliding into the boundary, but marking just in time.
That was a great kick. Corns and Treadray pushed forward to allow the space for Cockatoo Collins to lead into.
Stevens. So 6 or 7 kicks in a row by Port. And they've taken uncontested marks, and now they get it inside their forward 50. Michael over the top. Loves to come from behind to spoil. Johnson with confidence. Too much, in fact. Just to White. Darryl White has had an outstanding game. Only put a foot wrong. Brad Scott. Bradshaw. Good mark. Tough mark. Pressing was Bassett. McDonald wants it.
So does Lepage. He's one out.
He's going short to Power. This will give Port time to get back, though.
Look for Lepage on the lead. Here he comes.
There he goes.
Oh,
here's the short
lead.
pass. Too much on it. Over the back. Where's the Crummers? Oh, through his legs. Here's McRae. What can he do? Kingsley. It falls to Brogan. Well, a bit of luck there, Dean, because the first one was the error. But they get away, Port. They need a good kick here, and they've got it. Great kicking skills, again, by the Power as they come out of defence.
It was Wanganeen finding Montgomery, who in turn goes to James. He flicks it in towards the middle, and Stevens has to go back and do a little bit of retrieving work, and he's lost it. Could be costly. Jonathan Brown to Ackermanis. Away he goes. He takes him on.
He's
he
paid the
fires
throw.
a goal.
It's paid the throw back in midfield.
Oh, it's coming back. Look, it's coming back.
It's come from the second umpire. Is out on the far wing. He had the good side on view. It looked like Sean Hart had done everything right. He slid underneath Nick Stevens and knocked the ball out to a teammate.
Gee.
He's just palmed it up. I think you've got to pay that as a throw.
Well, back it comes. The excitement level just drops as Stevens. Mead is in trouble. Back to Stevens again. He eventually goes wide. Well done. Bishop on centre wing. 2.5 minutes remaining. Bishop goes long towards Treadray territory. Belted clear of him by Mal Michael. gaining valuable meterage, and Josh Carr sees it over the line.
The one thing that you've got to be impressed with about Port Adelaide is they just haven't panicked. They've said, OK, we're under pressure. Brisbane are bringing it down a lot. We're just going to stick with our game plan. We'll keep our heads above water. And when we get possession, we'll just work it out the way we normally do. And they've just stuck to their guns. It's been a fantastic performance.
Brogan and McDonald, won by the former, but just pushed straight down in front. Voss is at the bottom, and guess who's right there with him? Josh Carr.
Just the 8 possessions, Michael Voss. 5 marks, 1 goal.
The big men go at it again. Franco's kick. Well smothered. We've got another throw.
The one thing Port have done well here is they've quelled that Brisbane momentum. I mean, they had it strong in the middle of the quarter there. They just worked the ball down the other side of the ground. Controlled the ball well.
Certainly threatened to continue until just a few moments ago when that ball was brought back, but this time it's hard from half back. Maybe they can set up something here. This is Luke Power in the middle. Away goes Power. He's looking to lift his game. He's got Ackermanis at the back, but it's Mead who smashes it clear. Well done. Down to Bishop. And again, Port Adelaide are out of trouble.
And they've certainly got the numbers here on the wing with James. Goes straight up the wing again, looking for Burgoyne. Just gets it.
See, they hit their targets, don't
Oh,
they?
their skills are amazing. It's keeping them right in this game. Again, White in front. Down, he has to go twice, taps it through the legs, Corns, gets it to Cockatoo Collins, right with him, Johnson, White to Hart. What a quarter from Hart, Jason. That must be 14 odd.
He's got his own football out there at the moment. Sean Hart.
Stats.
He has had 14 possessions this quarter.
Well, Jonathan Brown standing on his own in the wing. Here comes 15. He goes to Brown. Notting doesn't run for him. Where's Lepich or Bradshaw? Well, they want Lepich. He's not going to make it. He's too far away.
They need a rocket launcher to get it to Lepich from there.
Keating's the one he should be pushing forward.
He needs a
so
link.
McDonald, yeah. So now, low kick towards Lepich. He's not going to get it. Where's Notting? Well, it's actually Lepich's back. And will he play on quickly? No.
Well,
5 points the margin. He's a left footer, Black. He does finish very well. Wanganeen is a great chaser. Black curls it back. It's there. He pops to the crowd and the Lions get another.
Gee, what a big goal with 12 seconds remaining in the quarter. They've shot clear by 11 points.
He's played a decent old game, Simon Black, too. 26 possessions, a lot of it hard grunt work in the middle of the ground, but now finishes off with a goal. I'll tell you what impressed me. He had space, but look at the man chasing. Gavin Wanganeen has possibly the best closing speed in the game. Black just tucked it under the arm. He got some pace of his own and just finished it off absolutely beautifully.
So Simon Black gets his first goal. The rain returns, and Mark Williams now finds himself with a problem or two. Lappin smothered out of the middle. McDonald gave it away to Franco. They desperately love one here with seconds only remaining. Johnson, effective spoiler. Burgoyne was there. Cockatoo Collins also. But time has beaten them in this quarter. And listen to that crowd. They've been silent for much of the night. They've been stunned. They've been shell-shocked. But they're back now. But don't write off Port Adelaide. They'll give absolutely nothing away. And they'll be back to fight out the final quarter. A big comeback, though, by the Brisbane Lions. At three-quarter time, it's the Lions 8-14-62, the Power 8-3-51.